tonight is going to be Lawrence. Let's welcome Lawrence.
Good evening, folks. Good evening, good evening. I'm not sure that I have everyone on the list, so I'm going to go down the list and find out who's who and what's what and why. Well, maybe not why. Do we have a second speaker? Do we want a second speaker? Get Bill, right? The table's wobbly. Okay, no second speaker, we don't want one. Okay, how about a general evaluator? So you're going to be the general evaluator. All right, are you gonna? Who's going to be a speech evaluator? Oh, you're going to be.
I can do that if you'd like.
You want to do a speech or a general? Okay.
Or I can.
All right, and grammarian and knot counter. All right, and Don's going to be table topics, and Olivia's going to do an educational overview. Marvelous. Well, now that we figured that out, ladies and gentlemen, let's move straight into our educational program. This evening, I would like to introduce our speaker for this evening. Our speaker for this evening has been a Toastmaster for a few years now. He's working hard towards his fact-finding report. So he's working hard towards his DTM in the Legacy program. And he's going to give us a wonderful speech tonight on a fact-finding report about the Jones Act. So, Maurice, the Jones Act. Close to my heart.
A Taiwanese ship delivers goods to Los Angeles, California. That Taiwanese ship was asked, can you drop a shipment in Hawaii after you leave Los Angeles? The answer is no. Fellow Toastmasters, my speech tonight is on the Jones Act, otherwise known as the Merchant Marine Act of 1920, which was enacted 2 years after the end of World War I. The reason for the Jones Act, it is a protectionist legislation for the maritime industry, and it gives special benefits to those in the maritime industry, including insurance collections for any injuries that they may get on the ship. The reason why the Taiwanese ship that delivered goods to Los Angeles couldn't go to Hawaii to deliver more goods is because the Jones Act only allows for U.S.-built ships to deliver between 2 U.S. ports, including the U.S. territories, Alaska, Hawaii, mainly Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and Guam, but it also includes other offshore U.S. territories. So another territory that's affected, as most people know, if they didn't know about the Jones Act already before then, was Puerto Rico, because of the Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria that took place in 2017. Although President Trump, he did waive the Jones Act for a short period of time, there is still a high cost of goods, mainly in Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii, and Guam. because only U.S. ships can ship goods to those areas. Another example of how the Jones Act affects the cost of goods in those areas is LNG, liquefied natural gas. In Puerto Rico, I understand that some of the utility plants run on, at least some of them run on liquefied natural gas. And it would be real expensive for them to get it from a U.S. ship. Because the Jones Act also has high shipping costs because there are less ships that are Jones Act qualified. Therefore, there's less competition for shipping to those areas offshore in the United States or outside the continental United States. And they are able to raise the cost of shipping. Therefore, those costs are passed on to consumer, especially in Puerto Rico and Hawaii. President Trump, at this time, he is proposing a waiver again of the Jones Act to allow shipping of liquefied natural gas to places like Hawaii and Puerto Rico. Here's a tidbit. In 1946, there were approximately 2,300 Jones Act qualified ships to go from U.S. port to U.S. port. Today it's around 100 because most commercial ships are not built in the U.S. They're built overseas, especially in China, Japan, and Korea. And even though Japan builds the least between those three countries, they build more than what is already Jones Act qualified right now in the United States. So my proposal is to either waive or repeal the Jones Act. And I know that will have an effect on the maritime industry, but I believe through at least a waiver, things will eventually level themselves out. Are there any questions? There's a 2 to 3 minute answer and question session if you would like.
So does a ship have to be built in the U.S. to be qualified for the Jones Act?
As it stands right now, there are 4 qualifying factors for a ship to be qualified for the Jones Act. It must be built in the U.S. It must be U.S. flagged. It must be at least 75%. Well, 75% of the crew has to be from the U.S. And 75%, excuse me, 75% owned by the U.S. So those 4.
So it's kind of similar to the union, right? So the states that have it are losing business because companies want to make money. So yeah.
Yes.
Did you say in 1946 we had about 2,600?
About 2,300.
Wow, and now we're down to about 100.
100 Jones Act qualified.
Gotcha, I know, yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
On top of all of the other things that you mentioned, what would be the effect on U.S. military readiness if they got rid of the Jones Act? Do you have any idea about that?
From what I studied prior to this speech, most of the ships in the U.S. are military related, a lot more military related than commercial related. But to answer your question directly, I don't know exactly how that would affect the military if ships, if the Jones Act were repealed or waived. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Back to our Toastmaster.
I think that this conversation would be a wonderful conversation for a debate. Because I am definitely of 100% opposite opinion that you are. Because there are certain things that would be better, but the U.S. could not survive without the Jones Act.
Okay. Yes.
The U.S. shipping industry would be nothing.
Yes.
And that's billions, maybe trillions of dollars in financial assets to America because of the Jones Act.
Okay.
So there's two sides to every coin.
Yes.
And it would be a wonderful debate.
Yes.
I would really, if there is a, have to look and see if there's a little path somewhere where you can do debate.
Yes.
And that would be a good one to have.
Okay.
Get two people who want to do that elective.
One more thing. Do you think that things would eventually level out? Let's just say it's waived in different areas, not repealed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the U.S. will get more foreign shipments?
Yes. Yes,
If-
absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, there are certain waivers that have been extended and extended and extended, and the effect of that is very much that the U.S. shipping cannot get into those industries now because they started to get into them or they started to waive them for the same thing. Well, we don't have enough ships to get in and bring that stuff, so we have to get foreign ships to bring it. And then the foreign ships are bringing it, and they keep renewing the waiver, and then all of a sudden the U.S. shipping can't get in there. So it's a catch-22, right? Well, we can't get in because it costs too much for us to get in, but at the same time, because they are cheaper, then we can't afford to bring our boats in. But at the same time, we don't build boats to fit that because we couldn't afford to run them to fit that. And so it just goes around in circles.
Okay.
So that's what would happen if you repealed it. Now, what a lot of people don't look at is also inland waters. The thousands of tugs and barges in inland waters that could be, if the Jones Act was totally repealed, could be run by foreign governments, and that is a major problem. Also, if there was no merchant fleets, there would probably be there would not be a large enough pool of mariners that if we ever got into a major worldwide war like World War II, there would not be the people to man the ships. They would have no educated people, no experienced people to run. If you remember in World War II, they had the Liberty ships, and they were building ships at a tremendous rate. And there were more U.S. mariners lost in the Second World War than any other branch of the military.
Were those the ships that were docked at 12 Mile Island in the rivers here in Mobile?
For a long time, yes. They built these ships, I mean, they built them in like 2 or 3 months, which is like phenomenal. It's huge. And you know, at one point they had like hundreds of ships a week being shipped out from all the shipyards in the United States. And that's the second thing that you're not taking into consideration. If the Jones Act failed, there would be no shipyards in the United States, because all of the shipping would be built overseas, where you're paying people 50 cents on the $10, or 50 cents on the $100, or whatever it was. And then if we ever had a similar situation in World War II, where we had to build ships rapidly, we would not have the experienced people to do it. So there's a lot more to it than just, well, these guys have to pay an extra 50 cents for a bottle of milk because it's got to be shipped by U.S. ships from the United States to Puerto Rico, you know, or whatever it is. So, yeah, there's more to it than, it's not simplistic. He did a good study on it, and I really appreciate that. But I've heard all of those stories before. And
What was the
there's
reason?
a lot more to it.
What was the initial reason of enacting the Jones Act? Was it because
The
of commerce?
initial
or
reason
national
was
security?
because they saw, when, after World War II, the United States started supplying huge amount of money to every country that ever got involved in the war to help to rebuild their industries. Well, even at that time, the people in Japan and Korea and Hong Kong and even in Europe, the people were being paid at such a low rate compared to the U.S. Economy that it was cheaper for them to build and run vessels out of those countries. And the initial reason was for defense purpose. They want to have trained people that can build ships. They want to have trained people that can run ships. So if we ever have to have a sea lift, similar to what we did in World War II, that we would have the people to build the ships, we would have the people to run the ships, up until, well, I don't even remember when they changed, but when I first started as a mariner, every time I changed ship, I had to go and register, because part of the contract for every mariner was, in time of war, you are going to be recruited into the Navy. And it's no question, you are going to be naval, whatever rating you are now, you will be that in the Navy. And then if there was ever an actual declaration of war, which has not happened since World War II. Everything else were, you know, Korea, Vietnam, all of the stuff over in Middle East. These were not really wars. They were police actions or something similar, because almost none of them went through the whole congressional thing that they legally have to go through to become a war. But if we ever had a war like a world war again, we have to have people, we have to have ships, we have to have people that are trained to run these things, or else we are going to be SOL, as the saying goes. And so we don't want to do that. So it'd be a really good debate. I enjoyed that speech. I like the idea of it, but I think that it would be something that you could try to research from the other side now, and come back. I don't know if in the project you're working on, if there's another opportunity to do that and come back from the other side.
Okay.
So it would be interesting to look at. Anyways, a very inspiring thought and a very wonderful experience. I'm glad we could share that. So I guess that kind of is a second speech. Wasn't it?
That's what I wrote down.
All right, so the next exciting adventure is one of the most valuable things that we do in Toastmasters, and that is to develop our ability to speak on the spur of the moment, which is what you do at your meet and greets and your cocktail parties and your family or your company parties and whatever, is table topics. The opportunity to spontaneously speak. So, I would like to introduce our table topics master for this evening, and that will be Don.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, this is my first time being a table topics master. I've perused a few questions of my own and found a couple on this list as well. And one thing that kind of spurred a little bit of my questions for tonight was that I was doing a lot of yard work over the weekend. It was beautiful, and it was sunny, and it was a reminder that summertime is coming. And we all know what that means. It's going to be very hot. So with that in mind, I had a couple of questions that I wanted to extend out related to that, and I think I've seen it done a couple of different ways where a question is asked and there's volunteers, or you do it in reverse. So I think I'll just go ahead and read it out and take a volunteer. So with that and topic ideas of summertime, what is your favorite family activity for the summertime?
The question is, what is your favorite family activity for the summertime? Well, I can think of at least two things that I and John love to do. But he loves to do one more than the other, so I'll talk about that first. The first thing would be to go to the beach. As many of you know, maybe not all, John and I are from the Houston area and have lived there. Well, he actually was born in Herman Hospital in Houston. And so we have been familiar with the beach in Galveston and me, Corpus Christi, because I grew up there. Corpus Christi is a little bit better than Galveston. Galveston's not so great. So once we moved here, I'm telling you, we headed off to Pensacola and never have looked back. So we are in love with the beach. We even bought our little bitty like lawn chairs that we take with us and open up at the beach. And we bought an umbrella, which I never ever had one of those before growing up. So we love digging that in the sand and then digging our feet in the sand, our toes, and looking at that beautiful clear blue water. And we're just beside ourselves because if you're familiar with Galveston, it is murky and brown and you usually can't see your feet, and sometimes you can in Pensacola. So we're just giddy about that. Well, that's the thing we love to do together. But then my favorite thing is also to go to see our little grandchildren. And John does like to go see that, but he's there for a little while and it's like, okay, I'm ready to go. So a lot of times I go by myself and spend a little time, a few, 10 days or so, which would absolutely drive him nuts. Does that mean I need to stop? And on that note, I will quit. Thank you, Dawn.
It's kind of fun. I love Pensacola as well. And most of the time you can see your feet.
Yes.
So another good activity for summertime is food. Always a good time for that. So if you were invited to a cookout, what would you bring and why?
If I was invited to a cookout, what would I bring and why? Well, I typically like the off factor, so, and I do eat my version of exotic food, because I'm not eating anything too exotic, so you can rest assured it won't be anything like crocodile or rattlesnake or, yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't even eat meat anymore, so, but for me, what I would bring would be, because people don't realize, me personally, I love grilled pineapples. Those are awesome. It tastes well with the stir fry, like some zucchini and eggplant, and then you have that pineapple on the side of it. It's really good. So if I had to bring something to a cookout, it would be some grilled fruits and vegetables.
If anyone has a specialty you might be famous for.
Sorry, is there a word of the day?
Oh, yes. Yes.
don't know that I
Just
heard.
say-
I don't think we had a word of that. I have to ask your guys' forgiveness because somehow I did not, I have been very lax in my responsibility as a educational.
According to Merriam-Webster, today's word of the day is accolade for April 29th.
Accolades, what's it mean?
Better late than never.
Accolade, there's several definitions. A mark of acknowledgement is one. An expression of praise is another. A ceremonial embrace is another. Ceremony or salute conferring knighthood. And also a brace or a line used in music to join two or more staffs carrying simultaneous parts.
Okay, there you have it. Word of the day is accolades. So definitely accolades to whoever can use it in the remaining time that we have. How much time do we have? Time for another couple?
Yeah.
Okay. So with the topic of the beach there, what would be your favorite way to cool off in the summertime? Being here on the Gulf Coast, I think there's numerous ways to do that. Grace? Okay.
Fellow Toastmasters, what is my favorite way to cool off during the summertime? When I was much younger, it would probably be going under a shade tree. But now, it's just to go home in the air-conditioned space. For some reason, and I don't know exactly why, but if I do something like cut the grass for a good period of time, I tend to overheat real easy now. And in my opinion, I think it gets harder every summer. But I overheat very easy, and that ruins my day. I just get a headache and all that. Even if I take a cold shower, if I stay out too long, mowing the grass or whatever in the hot sun, even if I take a cold shower for 10 minutes, that probably won't be enough for me to get for me not to get those symptoms. So I would say my favorite way to cool off during the summer is just get inside in the air conditioning. Mr. Topic Master.
And the older I get, I think that might be the same way that I would probably stay cool as well. And yard work is the hardest part for me. And last year, my son was 8 at the time, about to go on 9. And was looking mighty strong sitting on the couch one day, and I invited him out and told him to push the lawnmower from one side of the yard to the other. If he was strong enough to do it, and he did it. He said, "How long do I have to do this for?" I said, "Son, you have to do this for the rest of your life." Greatest moment of my life there, and he cut it that whole summer, and he's already been cutting it this year. So I've handed off the duties.
All right.
So with that, memorable summer memories. What was your favorite summer memories? A kid or as an adult, family? Summer, and he's already been cutting it this year. So I've handed off the duties.
All right.
So with that, memorable summer memories. What was your favorite summer memories? A kid or as an adult, family? Moment of my life there, and summer, and he's already been cutting it this year. So I've handed off the duties.
All right.
So with that, memorable summer memories. What was your favorite summer memories? A kid or as an adult, family? Moment of my life there, and summer, and he's already been cutting it this year. So I've handed off the duties.
All right.
So with that, memorable summer memories. What was your favorite summer memories? A kid or as an adult, family? Moment of my life there, and summer, and he's already been cutting it this year. So I've handed off the duties.
All right.
So with that, memories. What was your favorite summer memory as a kid or as an adult, family? Moment of my life.
This nice vacation to beautiful Sea Isle City in New Jersey. Now, Sea Isle City, Atlantic City, Ocean City, Sea Isle, Ocean City, Sea Isle City, Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation.
Moment of my life there, and
Ocean City, Sea Isle City, Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation.
moment of my life there, and
Ocean City, Sea Isle City, Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation.
moment of my life there, and
Ocean City, Sea Isle City, Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation.
moment of my life there, and
Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation.
moment of my life there, and
Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation. Ocean City, Sea Isle City,
moment of my life there, and
Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation. Ocean City, Sea Isle City,
moment of my life there, and
Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation. Ocean City, Sea Isle City,
moment of my life there, and
Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation. Ocean City, Sea Isle City,
moment of my life there, and
Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation. Ocean City, Sea Isle City,
moment of my life there, and
Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation. Ocean City, Sea Isle City,
moment of my life there, and
Atlantic City, Ocean. Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation. Ocean City, Sea Isle City,
moment of my life there, and
now Sea Isle City, New Jersey, Atlantic City, Ocean, city in beautiful Sea Isle to view this nice vacation. Ocean City, Sea Isle City,
moment of my life there, and
now Sea Isle City, New Jersey, Atlantic City, Ocean, city in to view this nice vacation. Ocean City, Sea Isle City,
moment of my life there, and
now Sea Isle City, New Jersey, Atlantic City, Ocean, beautiful Sea Isle City in to view this nice vacation. Ocean City, Sea Isle City.
Moment of my life there, and
Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey. Atlantic City, Ocean. Beautiful Sea Isle City. And to view this nice vacation. City, Sea Isle City.
moment of my life there, and
Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey. Atlantic City, Ocean. Beautiful Sea Isle City. And to view this nice vacation. City, Sea Isle City.
moment of my life there, and
Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey. Atlantic City, Ocean. Beautiful Sea Isle City. And to view this nice vacation. City, Sea Isle City.
moment of my life there, and
Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey. Atlantic City, Ocean. Beautiful Sea Isle City. And to view this nice vacation. City, Sea Isle City.
moment of my life there, and
Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey. Atlantic City, Ocean. Beautiful Sea Isle City. And to view this nice vacation. City, Sea Isle City.
moment of my life there, and
Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey. Atlantic City, Ocean. Beautiful Sea Isle City. And to view this nice vacation. City, Sea Isle City.
moment of my life there, and
Now, Sea Isle City, New Jersey. Atlantic City, Ocean. Beautiful Sea Isle City. And to view this nice vacation. City, Sea Isle City.
moment of my life there, and
Person to the Jones Act and all the, like World War II, blah, 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 blah,
Sea Isle City,
blah. And maybe, World War II, blah, 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 Act and all the, like, created person to the Jones.
now, Sea Isle City,
And maybe, Act and all the, like World War II, blah, blah, blah. Created person to the Jones.
now, Sea Isle City,
And maybe, Act and all the, like World War II, blah, blah, blah. Created person to the Jones.
now, Sea Isle City,
And maybe, Act and all the, like World War II, blah, blah, blah. Created person to the Jones.
now, Sea Isle City,
And maybe, Act and all the, like World War II, blah, blah, blah. Created person to the Jones.
Thank you, Susan, for that evaluation. Thank you, Susan, for that evaluation. And then Lawrence's.
Created person to the Jones. World War II, blah, blah, blah.
Thank you, Susan, for that evaluation. And then Lawrence's.
World War II, blah, blah, blah.
Thank you, Susan, for that evaluation. And then Lawrence's.
World War II, blah, blah, blah.
Thank you, Susan, for that evaluation. And then Lawrence's.
World War II, la la la.
Thank you, Susan, for that evaluation. And then Lawrence's.
World War II, la la la.
Thank you, Susan, for that evaluation. And then Lawrence's.
World War II, la la la. Educated person to the Jones. Educated person to the Jones. World War II, la la la.
And then Lawrence's.
Educated person to the Jones. World War II, la la la.
And then Lawrence's.
Educated person to the Jones. World War II, la la la.
And then Lawrence's. Thank you, Susan, for that evaluation.
Educated person to the Jones.
And then Lawrence's.